Because it makes what they do that's not pure seem better. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. And they want what things they're doing, they want to feel better about them. So the more people I can encourage to do what I'm doing, the more what I'm doing seems okay. Y'all, I have counseled a lot of people. And I haven't had one person yet whose life was made better by a whole lot of premarital sex. Not one. I hadn't met one. And for every 10 people you know who are involved in that, I probably know 100. And I hadn't had one of them yet come back to me and say, you know, Mr. Young, my life was enriched through my relationships with multiple boys or multiple girls. I feel so much better about not one person. I didn't know that when I was a kid. I didn't have my dad around to tell me that. I was learning from dudes on the street. But I will tell you, the young people I know who get an understanding of what purity is all about, they have a self-confidence that you can't buy. They have an awareness of who they are that people who kind of live that opposite lifestyle just sometimes never get, even into their adulthood. So purity pays, y'all. It really does. One of the statements I heard many years ago, let me see, tell me your first name right here. Yes. Quincy? Yes. Quincy, how old are you? 16. Quincy, you ever heard this? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Who's heard that before? Raise your hand. Okay. I used to think that. I really did. But Quincy, here's what I know now, at 50 years old. Well, 40 now. 49 just doesn't sound as cool as 50. Quincy, it's not what you know, and it's not who you know. It's who knows what you can do that they need, and vice versa. See, right now, everybody in this room, you sort of know me. I mean, we're not like bosom buddies, but you, hey, that's Mr. Young. Now, you know me now. So if I see you at Green Hills Mall trying to stop my family from spending all the money I've tried to make, if I see you, you can say, hey, Mr. Young, it's Catherine, it's Sydney, it's Quincy. Remember me? Oh, yes, I just say, how you doing? I know you now. But if you never asked me to help you to get scholarship money, if you never asked me my advice about how you might handle a certain situation, you're not getting the benefit of knowing me. See, until I know what it is you need or what it is you can do, you're not really getting the benefit of knowing me. Yeah, I know Mr. Young. He's one of the thousands of people I know. So what? When I was your age, I did not understand it. But I sure understand it now. So the sixth thing I want to say to you young ladies is I want you, each one of you in here, to create what I call an adult advisory team. Say it with me. An adult advisory team. Here's a question for you. Who would you say is the most advised person in the United States? President Obama. Who said that? Very good. Perfect answer. Now, I don't know the answer to this, so we're going to just kind of guess together. But how many advisors do you think President Obama has? Somebody said a lot. Very great answer. I'll go out on a limb, Mr. Young. A lot? Tell me some numbers. What would you say? 30? 50. Okay, how many people in the country? That's right. Well, let's look at it like this. 25. If you think of his immediate cabinet, if you think of his kind of chief of staff and that team, if you think of the top 2 or 3 people within every agency, that's probably 100 people who are giving the president their opinion, their view, their concept, their approach, and then he with a small group of people sort of decides, here's what we're going to do. Well, here's my question. How many of you, and I want you to be honest, think you are sharper than the president? Come on, be honest. Come on, let's see the hand. I pretty much was young. I think I am sharper than the president. I think I have more on the ball than Barack Obama or George Bush or any of them. Well, here's the point. If the leader of the free world has multiple advisors, and you're 17 or 15, and you don't have any advisors, what's up with that? Number one problem I see teenagers make is they take most of their advice from other teenagers. Don't get mad at me, young ladies, but that's pretty dumb. I'm not saying never take advice from your peers, but if most of the people surrounding you, feeding you information on who you ought to be, how you ought to act, where you ought to go, what you ought to do, are people who have not much past the same point you have in life, that's just not wise at all. See, the beauty of being young is there are people who want to see you be successful. They want to advise you. They want to give you ideas, insights, and information. And the weird thing is, most young people, once at this age, sort of feel like, I don't need anybody's input. Definitely not my mom. Definitely not my dad. And y'all, that's basically dumb. Because you're going to walk into a world that you've only known for 13 years. My grandmother has an 8th grade education, but she's as old as my wife and I put together. Think she might be able to tell us a few things? I would think so. But she didn't have a college degree. Don't ask her about college then. But when I'm having issues with my kids, I can go to my grandmother on that. When I'm having issues with my business, I go to Ron Corbin, who used to run the Southeast Division of Allstate. When I'm having issues with myself, I go to my pastor. Now is the greatest time to surround yourself with a group of advisors. And what you're going to find is, gang, all great people are surrounded by great advisors. Nobody becomes great on their